knowledge of the ultra-preppers I met in my travels through countries devastated by war. These people are uniquely special. They're not the strong, badass type you see in Rambo movies, not the ultra-rich prepper from reality shows. They're simple people, sometimes crippled with arthritis, and with just enough money to barely go by. But at the same time, smart, shrewd, and wise enough to survive for months or even years in the world's deadliest places. Look, there's big problems with conventional home defense methods, and because of it, your family is vulnerable and exposed. And that problem is, many preparedness authors are completely out of touch with reality. You think you're getting advice from this guy, when in reality, you're getting advice from this guy. Most of the time, the author is sitting behind his computer at his fancy desk in downtown New York, trying to imagine how the world would look like when it hits the fan. And he writes the common sense tactics that he thinks are most likely to work. This has the effectiveness of watching a zombie movie marathon and hoping to learn anything useful in a crisis. Real life doesn't work like this. In fact, the only thing you can expect in a civil unrest situation is that everything will be unexpected. You've got no electricity. You have to leave your home to get fresh water, and you have to keep a much lower profile than you would during peacetime. Conventional home defense techniques only work during peacetime against common thieves. That is, if they work at all. One thing is true, though. In a crisis, thieves will indeed be common. And so will looters out to steal your food, or rapists looking for a little fun. And when there's no police to call, and 911 is flooded with desperate calls, when law and order are replaced with chaos and desperation, that's when the common sense tactics need to be replaced by the wisdom of war zone preppers. Here's just a glimpse of what you'll find inside the Bulletproof Home Defense program. On page 16, you'll find out what you must do to drive away a hungry mob, even when your family is out of ammo, and one of your family members rendered totally ineffective as a combatant. This is a real case study from the Argentina collapse. In that incident, one bullet actually drove away a gang of 16 people. On page 105, you'll learn how to magically install situational awareness of a veteran soldier inside you and sharpen your sight, smells, and hearing almost instantly so that no intruder can ever surprise you. Also on page 12, you'll finally crack the secret to persuading your spouse to take up prepping, even if they are calling you a crazy for now. And how to prepare your home so that it is ready for a disaster without disrupting your everyday life. And on page 35, you'll learn a protocol developed by an Israeli on how to make other people think you are out of food, even though you have a 10-year stockpile in your home. On page 44, you'll learn why security alarms are almost useless in a disaster scenario in keeping looters out, and the 50-cent silent alarm that works without electricity and doesn't alert the intruder. On page 42, you'll learn the secret to hiding your water storage tank. Most people think it's impossible to hide hundreds of gallons of fresh, life-saving water. But I'll prove it to you. It can be done cheaply and easily. On page 59, you'll discover 3 quick fixes to strengthen any structure, like your doors, that is more effective in keeping out intruders than a solid steel door. On page 68, you'll learn why you should never have a safe room, and why Russians call them convenient coffins. In the movies, they might sound good to have, but they are proven to be deadly in a real crisis situation. I'm also going to show you something that is much more safer and effective than a safe room. Plus, on page 37, you'll learn how to get even the rowdiest kids to maintain operation security. This is critical because kids often misbehave. Often they don't realize it themselves and can thrust your entire family in danger by alerting enemies to your presence. Learning the techniques will get even the most disobedient kids to listen to your instructions. And there's more. If you try the Bulletproof